Welcome students, welcome to the next session of structural analysis 2. So in the previous class we have started our Carney's method chapter, right? The Carney's method itself, it is having a name, rotation contribution factor method or rotation contribution method, right? So there we have observed how we have calculated the corresponding rotation contribution factors. Okay, that UAB, the rotation factor for a joint or for a joint with having a member, that is UAB. So what is this UAB is involving? It is involving UAB is equal to minus half times relative stiffness of AB by summation of the relative stiffnesses at the joint A. Okay, so if it is having any continuity at the joint A, maybe if it is BA, so the relative stiffness if they are writing KBA, so relative sum of the relative stiffnesses at B, and I am writing UBA. So whatever is the rotation factor or rotation contribution factor, whatever is the factor is there. Rotation contribution we call for moments. Rotation factor is for the factor which is giving for us. So in the moment distribution method, distribution factor will come from the relative stiffness. Here rotation factor will come from individual relative stiffness and total relative stiffness. Okay, using these two values and multiplying with minus half. Don't forget minus half multiplication of the relative stiffness of the particular member by total relative stiffness at the joint. So this ratio will give the corresponding rotation factor. Their distribution factor, here it is rotation factor which I am indicating as UAB. Okay, sorry, U, the corresponding U, and suffix is the corresponding member what is there here. Which relative stiffness I am using, the corresponding member's rotation factor will come. So here using the rotation factor, what you can say, we can calculate the contribution, okay, rotation contribution or the rotation contribution moment, whatever is the value you can cast. So this is the rotation contribution moment. It is a moment value but it is rotation contribution. Okay, so the rotation contribution of at A towards B, rotation contribution at A towards B is equal to UAB into summation of the fixed end moments on the circle at AB and sum of the rotation contributions of the farther end. Okay, and this you have discussed already. Now in the above equation, sigma mm AB is a known quantity. Yes, we have already calculated the fixed end moments. Whatever is the loading conditions they give, for the corresponding fixed end moments you can calculate. So in the equation, the fixed end moments are the known quantities. Okay, if you are writing that, the fixed end moments are the known quantities. Now to start with the far end rotation moments, m dash AB are not known, hence they may be taken as 0. So far end contributions we don't know, that's why we are considering them as 0, and by the similar approximation the rotation moments at the other joints are determined. So firstly we are assuming something 0 and we are getting the enough quantities of the contributions, rotation contributions. So rotation contributions firstly we are considering 0, later I am assuming the corresponding outputs. With the approximate values of the rotation moments computed, it is possible again to determine a more correct value or the more accurate value of the rotation moment at A from the member AB using the equation support moment equation. So using the equation or the using support moment equation, anything. Okay, so with the assumption I am starting, but with the repeated iterations or the cycles I am making more accurate values, so that using the support moment equation I can calculate. So from the support moment equation I can calculate the rotation contribution answers also. Okay, the rotation contribution answers also you can evaluate. Okay, now the process is carried out for sufficient number of cycles until the desired degree of accuracy is achieved. Yes, we already know, like the moment distribution we will continuously do, at some point we will stop, there we will observe some condition. Here also repeated cycles will be done and we will stop at where we got enough accurate values, okay, sufficient values, and the final end moments are calculated using the equation. So the available equation is for the support moments, that using the equation and we will calculate the support moments. M AB is equal to MF AB plus 2 times M dash AB plus M dash B. So After knowing each and every one value, you can calculate the support moments. Okay, so this is the final output. Okay, if the end of the beam is fixed, so okay, so the complete end of the beam is being fixed. At the end, the rotation at the end is 0. So as the end is being fixed, the rotation at this end will be equal to 0. So as this end is being fixed, there is no rotation because there is no slope at this point. As there is no slope, there is no rotation contribution. I am not saying support moment is not there. I am saying rotation contribution is 0. Okay, so the rotation contribution at the corresponding end is 0. And if the end of the member is hinged or pinned, okay, it will convenient to consider the end as a fixed end to take the relative stiffness as 3I by 4. Okay, so it should be the complete entire end. Okay, if I am having some intermediate supports like this I will not consider them. Only if it is the ending point of the whole beam, that is the complete end of the beam. At that end of the beam, I am observing the hinge. Then we will write the corresponding relative stiffness as 3I by 4. Okay, so first this condition fixed. This is intermediate. These also will be considered fixed. But for the beam where it is a complete right hand and it is hinged, then such a type of hinge will give the relative stiffness as 3I by 4. Okay, 3I by 4L, 3/4 of I by L. Okay, so we have said iteration process will be done, individual support moment answers will be there, and rotation contributions will be there. So all these things we will solve with a clear example with each and every cycle. Okay, so firstly read the problem what they are saying. Analyze the beam shown in the figure by Kani's method and draw the bending moment diagram. Okay, if possible we will draw, or otherwise bending moment diagram we will leave. Only in this step I am thinking about the generation of the calculation of the moments only. Okay, now our picture is like this. At A I am observing a fixity, intermediate joint, again at D there is fixity. Okay, for the fixed conditions I am solving. Later if any hinge is there, that condition also we can implement. Only thing differs is in the rotation factor calculation and in the cycle iteration also it will differ. Okay, so for that having hinge end we will solve the next example. For this, a beam which is having a fixity at the complete right end and it was having 3 spans of continuous beam AB, BC and CD, and AB is having an eccentric point load of 50 kN at a distance 2.5 and BC is having a UDL of 80 kN per meter over entire length and CD is having a center point load of 100 kN. AB's length is 4 meter, BC length is 4 meter and CD length is 3 meters. And also in the problem they have given moment of inertia for each span is also different. That's why the first span is having I moment of inertia, the second span is having 2I moment of inertia and the third span is having 1.5I moment of inertia. So in our first step, generally what we will do, we will calculate the corresponding fixed end moments. So our step 1 is calculation of the fixed end moments. For such type of a beam, same beam we have done in Clapeyron's, we have done in slope deflection, we have done moment distribution method also. Now that same different continuous span type beam I am doing in the fixed end method. This rotation contribution or Kani's method. Okay, so our first step is calculation of the fixed moment. So fixed moment how we will calculate? Considering each span as a fixed beam, the fixed end moments are calculated as below. So the first beam, considering the first beam as a fixed beam. So AB 4 meter at 2.5 meter, 50 kN point load is there. So AB fixed beam at a distance of 2.5 and this one is at 1.5. There is a point load of 50 kilonewtons. Okay, A and B. Now, first type of beam, the fixed end moments are MFAB is equal to WAB square by L square. MFBA is equal to WA square B by L square. So, WAB square by L square, WA square by L square. And also, in the previous step also we have said the sign convention will be positive for the clockwise moments, negative for the anti-clockwise moments. Here itself we have given. Okay, so with this sign itself we will start here. We will not keep the minus later. We will keep here itself. Okay, so I am keeping minus WAB square by L square plus WA square B by L square. And what is this W? 50 minus 50 into 2.5 into 1.5 whole square divided by 4 square. And then this one is a positive only. 50 into 2.5 into 2.5 square into 1.5 by 4 square. Okay, so WAB square by L square, WA square B by L square. So this is minus 17.58 kilonewton meter. This is plus 29.3 kilonewton meter. And then the next span. So we are having a span of 4 meter and having a UDL of 80 kilonewton per meter. So the next span is carrying a UDL of 80 kilonewton per meter over 4 meter length between the spans BC. Okay, MFBC, MFCB. So MFBC as for the fixed beam carrying UDL over entire length, the corresponding formula is WL square by 12, WL square by 12. So minus WL square by 12 plus WL square by 12. So minus WL square by 12 and the corresponding plus WL square by 12 I have given here, and the intensity is minus 80 times 4 square by 12. As only the sign is changing to the same formula is there, so minus 106.67 plus 106.67 kilonewton meter I have got. Only for the space consumption I have not given the units. Everywhere these are the units because load is in kilonewtons, lengths are in meters, so kilonewton meter is the multiplication for the moment. Okay. The next thing is for the CD span, and in the CD span I have observed a beam of span CD, so a span of 3 meters and having a point load of 100 at center. So 3 meter span, 100 at center. So a fixed beam carrying a point load at the center, the corresponding fixed moment is WL by 8. So minus WL by 8 plus WL by 8. Only considering the particular span. I am not observing the previous one, I am not observing the next one. Only I am considering the particular span and calculating the fixed moments. Okay. So MFCD is equal to minus WL by 8. MFDC is equal to plus WL by 8. So the value is 100 into 3 by 8. WL by 8 with the minus sign. Okay. Minus, plus, minus, plus, minus and plus. So 100 into 3 by 8 as it is same formula because it is symmetrical load. Okay. So in this way we have calculated the fixed end moments. Okay. So the next step, like in the moment distribution method, here we will have one more table. There we have calculated distribution factors. Here we will calculate rotation factors because this rotation contribution method, right? So same like that we will calculate the rotation factors for the joint. So the next step is calculation of the rotation factors. Same, the table also appears the same. Joint, members, relative stiffness, total relative stiffness, and then the final column is rotation factor, their distribution factor. Okay. Firstly, here I am having, see here, this B was connected to 2 members. Again, this C was connected to 2 members. That's why 2 joints I am solving. Previously we have observed the 2 span beams. That's why only 1 joint we have solved. Here, this is a 3 span beam. That's why 2 joints came. Now, joint B and joint C both needed to be observed. And joint B has BA, BC. C has CB, CD. And BA member is having a stiffness. How I can write the stiffness? So stiffness is equal to moment of inertia of the particular beam member by length of the beam member if the farther end is fixed or if it is the intermediate span type supports. Okay. So if the farther end is fixed, it is I by L, moment of inertia of the particular section by length of the particular section. If the span is continuously some intermediate span, so with the intermediate support points also the hinge we will consider as a fix only. Only if it is a completely end of the beam, there if it is a hinge, then only it is hinge for us. Otherwise, intermediate supports are not at all considered as hinges. Okay, so every intermediate span that is a normal beam only. So if from B towards A, I have observed fixed D. So the corresponding relative stiffness K is equal to moment of inertia of BA span by length of BA span. Moment of inertia of the BA span, how much they have given? That is I only. Length of BA span is 4. So I by 4, which is I by 4. And then from B towards C, even though it is appearing like a hinge, but these two are the intermediate supports. So the intermediate supports also will be considered fixed type conditions. That's why for this condition, again, what is the moment of inertia and what is the length? Moment of inertia is 2I, length is 4 meters. So this is 2I by 4. Okay, so this is I by 4 and this is 2I by 4 for KBC, KBA and KBC. So the relative stiffness for the BA span is I by 4. The relative stiffness for the BC span is 2I by 4. So I by 4 and 2I by 4 we have done. Then the total relative stiffness, summation of these two. So as we have already said, when you keep the denominator as it is, so we can sum up the numerators as keep easily. So I plus 2I, 3I by 4. That is the total relative stiffness calculation. Now the next step is rotation factor calculation. Generally, in case of distribution factor, simply the ratio of the stiffness by total. Stiffness by total, that is the distribution factor. But rotation factor is equal to minus half times relative stiffness of the particular member by total relative stiffness at the joint. So minus half times stiffness of the particular member. Whatever I am writing, that is the relative stiffness of the particular member. If it is a BA, this is BA. If it is BC, that is BC. Okay, so stiffness of the particular member by total relative stiffness. So minus 1 by 6. See here, my I by 4 by 3I by 4 into minus 1 by 2. That's why minus 1 by 6. Again, 2I by 4 by 3I by 4. Okay, 2I by 4 by 3I by 4 into minus 1 by 2, that is minus 1 by 3. So in this way we have calculated for the joint B members, for the corresponding members stiffness, from the stiffness total stiffness, and using the stiffness and total stiffness rotation factor minus half times stiffness of the member by total stiffness. Okay, so similarly for the next joint, which is joint C. So now the joint C, which is having the members CB and CD. So the next members are CB member. This one is a B intermediate type and this one is a C intermediate type, and it is having a 2I moment of inertia and 4 meter length. So K CB is equal to 2I by 4, and then K CD. So for the CD, what is the span, what is the length, and what are the conditions of the support? So C is like this, and we have observed D is fixed end. So this is continuous. Still continuity is there, that's why I by L. Okay. Otherwise, here we have written I by L only as it is. Either it is a continuous or it is a having farther end as fixed. So this CD is also having I by L only. Now, what is the moment of inertia of the particular CD member and what is the length of the particular CD member? Moment of inertia of the CD member is 1.5I. Length of the CD member is 3 meters. This is ICD by LCD, 1.5I divided by 3. See, 1.5 came from the moment of inertia because section to section moment of inertia is varying. They have given in the problem. Okay, that's why 1.5I by 3. So this 1.5I by 3. This one is 2I by 4. So now joint C, CB member, CD member. CB member's relative stiffness is 2I by 4. CD member's relative stiffness is 1.5I by 3. Summation of these two has gave me I by 4. Now multiplication of minus half into stiffness of the relative stiffness of the particular member by total relative stiffness at the joint, and then minus half into stiffness of the particular member by total relative stiffness at the joint. Okay, minus 1 by 4 and minus 1 by 4. Then we have observed, once we have calculated the particular member's distribution factor, those two summations should be equal to 0. Here, these two summations should be equal to minus half, because this ratio is cancelling and it is giving some other thing. Not needed to get the particular value. There is no special case for the summation of the rotation factors. There I am having distribution factor. Summation of the distribution factor should be equal to 1. Here I am not having anything. Okay, simply it is a value. Okay. So the calculation of the distribution factors was over. Now I am going into the main step for the generation of the Canni's method. Okay. Now as we have already observed the fixed end moments. Now At the joint, we are having the fixed end moment. So, at the joint, when I am considering the left side, at the joint when I am considering the right side, there are two fixed end moments. Okay. Now, finally, the total fixed end moment at B is equal to sigma MFB. It is indicating MFBA plus MFBC. Summation of the fixed end moment at B towards A, summation of the fixed end moment at B towards C. Without thinking anything, what are the quantities we have got in the fixed end moment with the sign as it is, we will place here. Okay, MFB I have got plus 29.3, MFBC I have got minus 106.67. What are the minus and plus we have kept there as it is I am keeping here. Because in the first step itself I have considered clocks are positive, anti-clocks are negative. So from the first step I should have to follow the condition of the Canis moment. Okay, so summation of the fixed end moments at the joint B. Sum of the fixed end moment at the joint B is equal to minus 77.37 kilonewton meter. Similarly, at joint C. So, at joint C, sigma MFC is equal to MFCB plus MFCD. What are the value of MFCB there with the sign as it is we are keeping, and I have got plus 106.67. And MFCD we have got minus 37.5. Okay, summing up these two with as it is the sign, and finally I have got plus 69.17 kilonewton meter is the moment as the sum of the fixed moment at the joint. Sum of the fixed moment at B, sum of the fixed moment at C. Now, the scheme of our proceeding with the method of rotation contribution is shown in the figure. So, they have shown some figure, and in that figure, they should have to indicate the joints B and C are shown in two square boxes. Okay, so using two square boxes, the joints B and joint C were indicated, and this is the fixity condition of A and B. And the sum of the fixed moment at B is written in the right. So two square boxes. This one A, this one is B, this one is C, and it is D. Now, in the smallest center, the sum of the fixed moments we have calculated in the previous step. That quantity I should have to write minus 77.37. So, minus 77.37. And then the next thing is C for C. Similarly, the fixed moment at C is 69.17. So, 69.17 with whatever the sign I have got. Okay, so this way the picture was developed. Okay. Simply a line indicating A, B, C and D. At B, we are drawing two boxes. At C, we are drawing two boxes. In those, the smallest box I am filling with the joint fixed end moment. Okay, summation of all the fixed end moments at the joint. Summation of all the fixed end moments at the joint. Okay, next step. Now, this was written like this. And the next step, what I am doing? Now, the rotation factors minus 1 by 6 and minus 1 by 3 for the member BA and BC, and the rotation factors minus 1 by 4 and minus 1 by 4 for the factor members CB and CD are entered as shown in the figure. Okay, so just now only we have observed in the box, and in the center box we have indicated sum of the fixed end moments. Here also I have indicated the sum of fixed end moments. Okay. And later we are developing these corners for our step, only for giving the clarity for the steps, so that in the appearance itself we can generate what are the things I am doing. Next, this is a joint B. Now from B towards A, there is a rotation factor. That value is minus 1 divided by C, and this value is minus 1 divided by 3. And also from C towards B, minus 1 by 4. This is also minus 1 by 4. Okay, the rotation factors minus 1 by 6 and minus 1 by 3 for the members of BA and BC at B, and also the rotation factors minus 1 by 4 and minus 1 by 4 for the members of CB and CD at the center C at C are entered and shown in the figure. Okay. So, firstly, we have developed a beam-like structure. There we have indicated two square boxes. In the smallest square box, we have given summation of the fixed moments at the joint, summation of the fixed moments at this joint, and on the left side and the right side of the particle box, there we have observed the side spaces. There I have entered distribution factor from B towards A, distribution factor, rotation factor from B towards C. Similarly, rotation factor from C towards B, rotation factor from C towards D. So those values we have entered, and the next step, what is appearing? And the fixed moments are entered above the horizontal line outside the square boxes. So these two boxes, interior values, left side, right side values of the rotation factors we have entered. Later, we will enter the fixed end moments on the horizontal line, above the horizontal line at the corresponding position. So at A towards B, what is the fixed moment value? That we have calculated as it is with the sign, okay, minus 15.58. And then at B towards A, what is the value? Plus 19.30. Again, at B towards C, what is the fixed moment value? That is minus 106.67. At C towards B, this is plus 106.67. And then at C towards D, that is minus 37.5. At D towards C, plus 37.5. So, with this step, the main values entering was over.